What is going on, Jet fans? Matt O'Leary back with another video. In today's video, I want to get into Aaron Glenn potentially hinting at a new role for Breece Hall. Let's get into it. On Monday, we heard Aaron Glenn speak with the media, and he talked about a whole lot of different things. We've covered a bunch so far, but something I haven't talked about yet is a interesting quote, and Rich Samini actually tweeted it out and added some of his own thoughts at the end. But here's the quote on Aaron Glenn discussing Breece Hall. He says, quote, "I think mentally he's in a good place, but I would say that we have 3 running backs on this team that we're going to utilize as much as possible. Don't go selling your Breece Hall stock just yet. I'm not saying he's traded and the Jets are going to draft Ashton Jeanty or anything crazy like that. But my question is, are the Jets going to go running back by committee? And if you look at Breece Hall's numbers over the last 2 years, so we'll exclude his rookie season when he was arguably maybe his best over a short period of time before he got injured. But in the years that he since returned and has been the lead back for the New York Jets, his seasons have looked honestly pretty similar. So in 2023, he had 223 rushing attempts on the year, which was 57.5% of the team's total carries on the year. So I'm looking at the total numbers. We're seeing 223 carries for Breece Hall, and that 223 is 57.5% of the team's total carries. Now, 2024, this past year, his carries went down, but the percentage was virtually the same. 203 carries. He did miss a game, but 57.6%, so just a tick higher of the team's total carries. If you look at how the Detroit Lions did things, that, well, they ran the ball significantly more than the New York Jets. Jets had the fewest rushing attempts out of any team in the NFL a year ago, which we pray to God is not the case in 2025, but the Lions in 2024 ran the ball 534 times. Their lead back is Jahmyr Gibbs, but they utilize a running back by committee approach to an extent, pairing Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery together. And Jahmyr Gibbs ran the ball 250 times, which is still more than Breece Hall, but that total number was just 46.7% of the team's total carries. David Montgomery, 185 carries, 34.5%. So we're talking about almost a 10% difference. Looking at last year, Breece Hall, 57.6% of the team's total carries. Jahmyr Gibbs, who put up much better numbers, by the way, and who ran the ball 47 more times on the season, was at just 46.7%. And there's a few other factors that go into this for the New York Jets in 2025. You have Justin Fields, who is a rushing quarterback. He's going to run the ball a lot, 160 times in 2022, 124 times in 2023. That's going to eat into the Breece Hall numbers. Braylon Allen and Isaiah Davis you also have, who were the 2 other running backs that were referenced by Aaron Glenn. They're going to eat into a chunk. I would imagine that one of the 2 kind of ends up in that in that David Montgomery role. Braylon Allen would be my guess, but I don't want to rule out Isaiah Davis. I think they'll use him a little bit, but moral of the story here is I don't think you're going to see a number that's close to essentially 58% of the team's carries this year. I think it's much more likely that it's closer to that 45%, but at that 45% of the total carries, are you getting a more productive player? What I mean by that is, does his yards per attempt go up because the usage is more spread out? Is it he's more involved in the passing attack, which I think is something that should happen in 2025. You look at how he finished the season in 2023, he was racking up yards as a receiving back, which is great. And then last year, the Jets went back to not really using him all that much as a pass catcher, which was honestly shocking to me. But can he still be that 1,800 to 2,000 yard all-purpose back, meaning rushing and receiving yards combined? I think there's a world where that does happen. And I get it. He was coming off a 2024 season where expectations were sky high. And, he didn't hit the level of production we thought he would for the New York Jets, but really nobody on the offense did a year ago. So we might be getting into a less is more with Breece Hall in 2025, but something of note that I thought we should reference in the Aaron Glenn conversation this week, and one of his quotes is he hinting at a change of role for Breece Hall. No longer the back who's going to be carrying the ball 58% of the time for his team. It's going to be more spread around, and It makes sense when you factor in the two other running backs, Justin Fields, and just the team's likelihood to run the ball more than it did a year ago. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm Matt O'Leary. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you next time.